Now, the operation to rescue 41 workers trapped in the Silkyara tunnel was stalled earlier, and now it has come to an impetus when the vertical drilling has in fact started. Now, NDMA rescuers are preparing for the rescuing as the vertical drilling has slowly started. The blades of the auger machine which was deployed, was earlier collapsed and stopped working, and then rubble had to be removed manually from inside the tunnel. Preparation for protection of umbrella protection also took place in the morning, and now the vertical drilling has begun as the vertical drill was taken uphill. Before this, a landline facility also was established by BSNL into the tunnel to ensure that the stranded workers were able to talk to their families. I'm being joined by my colleague Neeta to take us through more details coming in. But before that, let's listen in to what the tunneling expert there, Arnold Dix, had to say about the vertical drilling and what happened to the auger machine.
The auger machine failed, and we're having a lot of technical difficulties getting the auger out from the pipe. That's going much faster now. This morning, newer plasma cutters have come, and the brave men who are going in there in a pipe with plasma cutters and cutting it piece by piece and taking it out. That's happening now, and progress is faster this morning. Once we've got the auger out, then we can go in and have a look at the pipe and see what condition that's in, and then we can assess what next. As you know, we're about less than 10 metres away, but it's as if it could be 1,000 kilometres away, because we still don't exactly know what's there. We don't know if it's girders, we don't know if it's machines. We've used ground penetrating radar, we've looked ahead, we think we know what's there. But this mountain has shown us that just when we think we know, we don't. So we're being very conservative, making sure no one gets hurt. We don't want to jeopardise the men on the other side as well.
I'm being joined by my colleague Neeta on the ground. Neeta, take us through the latest on the ground. We're learning that vertical drilling has started at this moment. How far along are we in the rescue operations?
See, I would like to just show you around, Aarti. For the vertical drilling, the second part of the machine is on its way up. Just to point out how difficult the task is, you can see those pipes, and that puller, that truck which is trying to pull it upwards. That road has been made by BRO. This machine or this drill needs to be pulled up to the top of the tunnel. The top of the tunnel is 86 meters high, where you can see some of the NDRF workers already working there. It's 86 meter high. So when the drilling already which has begun, the first part has begun, they need to drill the machine down 86 meter deep, and then they will encounter the rubble which fell after the tunnel collapsed, and after that rubble has been taken care of, then only you can reach the trapped men. That difficult is the rescue operation as far as this vertical drilling is concerned. First, the most difficult bit is going to be to pull these drillers, on the top of the hill. Secondly, if I can just show you around inside the tunnel, Prem, if you can just point out towards the tunnel, the auger machine, which is stuck about 250 meters away from the mouth of the tunnel. The blades of the auger machines are stuck. Those are being pulled out manually. Now, Army has joined in. Army men in olive have joined in, and now they are trying to pull those metal pieces and parts of auger machine outside. Only after those parts are pulled out, then they will encounter that 10-meter wide wall, which again separates workers from us. Again, it's going to be a very, very, Herculean task, because that 10-meter wide, that deep debris, you need to clear it. You need to put an umbrella over it. Again, it's going to be a very difficult task for the rescuers. That is why they are not giving a definite timeline as to how long will it take to get the trapped workers out. Yesterday we heard, NDMA member Ata Hasnain Saab, he said now the rescue operation is entering a very difficult technical phase, and it is very difficult to give a timeline. In fact, if I can just quote him, he said operation is getting technically complex. We never have given a timeline. When you are working on a mountain, it is unpredictable. How unpredictable it is? Again, if you can just see the terrain, Now questions are also being asked about the kind of safety measures and what kind of environmental clearances have been done. If you can again show that part of the mountain frame, that grey, that mud, that slit, that is called muck. Whenever, a tunnel is created or is dug into, that kind of mud comes out. For that you need proper dumping yards, but in this case we see openly it has been dumped, which again creates so many natural hazards. Questions are being raised about that also. Again about the tunnel also, another question which has been asked is about the escape tunnel. Why no escape tunnel was made initially? However, when you speak to National Highway Authority of India people, they say that escape tunnel only comes into force once the tunnel is operational. So those are the kind of explanations that you are getting. And when we, yesterday also, Mr. Chauhan, who is a member in NHAI, he said that every aspect of environment assessment and risk assessment has been taken care of. Very interestingly, he said that Himalayan geology is very young and it acts and reacts differently, and you can't predict how it's going to react. That's the reason they're giving that why the tunnel collapsed just 200 meters away from its mouth. The questions are also being raised whether this mouth of the tunnel will actually be used now or not, because now the questions are there about its safety also. So many questions are being asked, but the government says right now the focus is on rescue. After the rescue is done, then these questions about safety and about risk assessments of this tunnel and other tunnels would be discussed. Aarti?
Right, Neeta, in fact, like you had mentioned, the geography of it is the big question here. The tunnelling expert also spoke about how they had never expected that the tunnel would cave in at, like you said, at 200 meters. What are they doing to understand the geography better? Are they roping in more experts to understand that particular soil and the way it reacts, like you said?
See, yes, army, as I told you, army has been pulled in. Army army men have gone inside the tunnel and now trying to pull out the parts of auger machine outside manually. One part is that, and secondly, they are also using laser and thermal imaging, also trying to gauge what's ahead, because last time when they said that they have used groundbreaking radar technology, in that technology that could not detect small parts of metal, which had come, due to which this the auger machine again encountered an accident. That is why it was just, the operation was delayed for 3 days. So different technologies are being used, different people are being roped in, different parts of country, help is also coming from all the way from Hyderabad, other places also. So any kind of technique or any kind of help which government feels feasible or feels is going to help in the rescue of these workers, they are trying to get them on ground as soon as possible. Aarti?